Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is TDT, the Developing Trader, coming back at you again with our weekly analysis and projections. Let's start here by checking out what news events we have this week. I want you to see that we are only going to be looking at red and orange folder events only in the US market. And let's see what we have. Nothing on Monday. On Tuesday, we have core retail sales. Then we have retail sales and employment cost index happening at 8:30 on Tuesday. So we might get some action here on Tuesday in that pre-market. Moving on, we got Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. once again. Average hourly earnings, non-farm employment, and unemployment rates all happening at 8:30. It's going to be a lot of action in this pre-market this week. Be aware of that. Notice all of our news events is happening at 8:30 during this week. Thursday we got unemployment claims, and then on Friday we got core CPI, all happening at 8:30. Okay, so stay on your P's and Q's and let's jump into Dixie. All right. And here we go. We got Dixie, the US dollar here, looking at it on a weekly chart. Okay, and you remember last week, or was it midweek? May have been midweek. We did line up this target below that price has dipped into and bounced back over the past 2 weeks. And let's take a look here at the daily. Here's what I want you to keep your eye on real quick before we jump into the daily. Let's take a little deeper look here. We want to see how price is going to respond within this balanced price range we have here, with the fair value gaps on both sides. You can see the body closing in right at that point. So this week I would not be surprised if price wants to take a stab up and then it may reject and continue this downward motion. We'll see what happens. And if you want to know what this level is at the bottom, we go into our monthly here, and you see that that is this gap created on the 3-month. Is at the 3-month? Yes. Yeah, this is the quarterly move that we're looking at after that IO Fed move. You see price dips in, rejects it nicely. Okay, on a monthly basis, I'm looking at this little piece of price right here. If price wants to get really aggressive and stab up further before continuing down, it may want to stab into that area, although I'm not thinking it's going to have that much strength. I'm guessing that we may stay in this range here and start to keel over and keep going downward. Okay, so we'll see what we get. Yeah, price looks like it wants to take another stab up. Looks like it may want to take another stab into this area here and then reject. So we'll see if we get that this week on Dixie. Let's hit NASDAQ. And here we have NQ. Like I keep telling you guys, I'm not sold on this being bearish until we get a clean break on this weekly chart. You see it keeps diving lower and taking liquidity right here down to this rejection block on the weekly, and then creates a really huge wick, a lot of bullish price action to end this week on our final day. So if you remember last week, I was expressing to you guys that if price wants to go down, this is the exact area I told you guys to keep your eyes on. Go and look at that video that I did. If it was not the midweek, it would have been the weekly projections, and I spoke about this very area in price that I did watch. And when it got down there, I monitored how this run began in London, and the rest of the day it just kept going. So taking the dive into this area, as well as getting a bullish signal here on Friday, would have been pretty decent trades. But it's interesting to see what we do next from this point. On the weekly, I keep telling you guys, I think it wants to keep trucking on, and it does seem like that is what it wants to do. I want to see what price does, if it can reach back into this area and how it does that. We've already taken all of these weeks of liquidity, including this candle here, which was November. So we've taken this liquidity on November of last year. and we've entered back into this gap right here. So I want to see how price interacts with this gap at the opening, see if we have any new weak opening gaps. It may gap up, it may gap down, but now we're back in this really scratchy price, and I wouldn't be surprised if price wants to keep in this consolidation type of move where it's not giving a strong direction in one way. Like, look at this market here, man. It's crazy. Okay, these tops, you know, it looks like Candyland. I believe that price is want to go and get, it's gonna want to go and get that. I honestly do think it's gonna go and get that. How we get there, how long it takes to get there, and what we do once we arrive is remains to be seen. And I'm just moving along as price is moving intraday, because it's really tough to get a sustainable move in a market like this. But soon enough, I believe moving into March, maybe we'll get some larger range days where we can, you know, take advantage of holding a position much longer and getting a larger return. Okay, so for now I want to see if price can break this area, or does it give us another stop lower as it keeps being in this consolidation type of price. We may have another candle that comes down but doesn't break that low, and then another one that goes up further into this area, and then that'll take us into Wednesday, and I'll be back with you guys and we'll see if it does that. Okay, let's move on to ES. And as you can see, ES has already moved into that gap that was created here. It went down, took the liquidity here from December of 2025. That's taken that swing right there, and it moved up really aggressively, and we're not far away from these tops here, and I do believe we will be pushing up for another all-time high. I do believe that is what is going to happen. It hasn't given me anything yet that is a really convincing bearish move. All it does is keeps swiping liquidity and then running up. Like, look at this prior move here, what it does. It goes and it hits all-time highs. It comes back, sweeps this area, goes back, stabs up to all-time highs, comes back, sweeps this and this, moving into this gap here. So that's your offset accumulation at this point, right to the EQ, and it may push for another high. So we'll see what this delivers this week. Once again, this is TDT. I thank everyone that's been checking in on these videos. I know they may not be very entertaining. I'm trying to stay focused and just keep posting on a weekly basis, even though I have a lot of things going on in my private life right now that is gonna make things a little difficult for me moving into the next couple of weeks. But I will do my best to keep these videos coming at least twice a week. So with that, I wish you all good luck, good trading. I wish you all the best. Make sure you protect your capital, and always remember to keep a positive mind through all of your experiences and all of your lessons. Okay, have a blessed one. This is TDT. Peace out.